Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Julie. I am a homeschooling mom of 5, and I have gotten some questions about how I organize the past year's school papers and books and such. That is what I am tackling today. This will actually probably take me today and tomorrow. Hopefully I can get this done in 2 days. But I am going to go through all of my kids' books and just kind of pick and choose what I'm going to keep. Now, I have to say, what you keep from your child's school year really depends on what requirements are where you live. Where I live, here in Ontario, Canada, there is really nothing that I need to keep, nothing I need to prove, nothing I need to show to the government, no portfolio I need to have. And so what I keep is really just for me, for my kids to look back on. I also want to make sure I have a little bit from each year that if anything changes and I do need to prove that we did school, I have that to go back to. I don't expect this to be a long video. It'll be pretty quick. It's pretty simple, but I'm about to tackle this now, and so I will take you guys along. I'm going to start by doing Simeon's book. So I have this binder for him. I have a separate binder where I kept all of his junior kindergarten and kindergarten work pages. And then this one starts here with first grade, which is what he did last year. Look at how little he was, first day of grade 1. And then I just have some of his pages. So this was last year. This was last year for school. His final day of first grade interview, as well as his last day of grade 1 picture. So now in behind this, I'm gonna put his second grade stuff. So I have these papers. We always do a first day of school picture. So there was his first day of grade 2. And then we do a first day of grade 2 interview. So that will go at the very front, and then at the back will go his last day. So last day of grade 2 picture and his last day of grade 2 interview. So I also have here his stack of stuff I'm gonna go through. So I have his music theory book. I thought maybe I would keep a couple of pages from here. I have his journal, all of our gather round units. So I think there are 6 or 7 of these unit studies that we did. This is why I'm telling you it's going to take me at least a couple days to go through all of this. I have his math test book and then his math lesson book, and that's it. So I'm going to go through, and typically through each book I will keep maybe 3 or 4 pages. It's not a lot, but I want to make sure I have a little bit of his math, a little bit to kind of show what his writing was like at this age. Maybe a really good art page he did. So I'm going to go through all this stuff now. All right, I went through everything. This is how much I am keeping. I also cut off all the edges of my math pages because I had to just rip those out. So that's all going in the garbage. And then I've got to hole punch everything that needs to be hole punched here. My first day pages, last day pages, and that is all that I am keeping. I kept all of these spines because I can reuse those. This whole huge stack is all for the recycling, and that's just from one child out of the 4. So I'm gonna have a lot of recycling. And then I did just keep his journal book because I'm gonna give him some new pages in here for this next school year. So I'm going to hole punch all this and then put it into the back of this book, and then this binder here will contain his grade 1 stuff and his grade 2 stuff. I try to put as much as I can in one binder because binders are so annoying to put onto bookshelves, so I want to have as few as possible, which is still a lot with all of my kids, but I try to keep it as condensed as I can. And here is the final product of Simeon's book. So first day papers, I know I've already showed a lot of this, just kept a few pages from his gather round books that we can just look back at and see kind of what he was doing at second grade level, some of his journal pages, his math pages, some music pages, and then his last day of school pages, his little interview here, and his picture. And then as I do the other kids' binders over the next couple of days, I will film those like final products and add those on here too. Now I am finished Elijah's book.
So we started again with his first day of 5th grade, and we have some journal entries. We have just some scripture he was writing out, a little bit of art, music pages, and then getting into the gather round pages. And we just kept I tried to keep a variety of like the art and the scripture and the more science and geography pages and grammar and just kind of a variety. So kept a bunch of his pages there, and then at the very back of his binder I have his last day. And now for Charity's book. So I have 2nd grade in here too, last day of 2nd grade, and then her 3rd grade pages. Everyone's books start to look just the same. We have some journal pages, some copywork she was doing here, some art, and then into music, gather round pages. The one thing that I don't have, and I need to kind of think about what I want to do for both Elijah and Charity because they've been in teaching textbooks, I don't have any math pages. I could go on and like print up their math reports or something, like how they did on math for the entire year, but up until now I haven't done that. So I might do that just so I have some math in their books. And I just like to show these pictures. There's her last day of 3rd grade. Watch out, 4th grade. Here I come. So this book is done and ready to go onto the bookshelf. Lastly, I have Zara's book, and Zara's sitting right by me right now. She is just practicing writing out her letters, writing some words. So her kindergarten book, first day of kindergarten. She just, at the beginning, has lots of artwork I kept and just like some doodling and stuff like that. Then we got into her writing book. So I just try to keep some of her best work. All of her, she does a lot of extra drawing, you'll see here through her math pages, but I loved to look through and see how much her writing improved, how neat it got as we got on with her math. So this is what I wanted to keep for memories, just how much she drew on her math pages, especially little girls. Like, look at this page. That is Zara in kindergarten, and that is what I want to remember. But as I go on here, you'll see, okay, I guess you did see, but how much neater her writing got, her numbers as she went along. And then for her gather round pages, it was mostly just fun stuff, not a lot of work she did, but just lots of drawing and a few work pages. And so that is the end of Zara's book. Lots of coloring. She's a good colorer, aren't you? And then here's her last page. She got better at writing her name, and her last day of kindergarten.
I hope that was somewhat informative and helpful if you are trying to figure out what to do with your kids' heaps and heaps of schoolwork pages. That is what we do. Some people might ask if it's hard for me to like get rid of all this hard work that my kids have done, all of these pages. For me, I would say no. It is hard for me as I go through to figure out what I should keep, like which one of these pages should I keep. But when I dump that huge stack of paper into the recycling, I have no regrets. I do not like all the paper clutter, and it really, really adds up. There's no way I could keep all of their books. So this is just a way to kind of highlight their year and show some of their best work that I get to keep as memories for years and years to come. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see a lot more homeschooling content. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.